Hello, and welcome to another edition of Between the T's, the knowledge sharing program from Texas Bank and Trust. I'm your host, Karen Partee. Today's segment is brought to you by Texas Bank and Trust Business and Professional Banking Department. From financing for your small or large business to cash management and merchant card services, our trusted advisors can help you take control of your business finances by providing the right tools for the job. To learn more, visit our website at www.texasbankandtrust.com and click on the Business Banking tab, or call the Business and Professional Banking line at 903-237-5648. Well, today we want to turn our focus on the world of entrepreneurship. Many of our viewers have told us they have aspirations of being self-employed and running their own small businesses. However, with the legal and also logistical challenges that may be posed with that, turning their dreams into reality may cause some frustration if they don't have a formal business background. Thankfully, there are organizations in our community that can help demystify the process of opening a small business and providing the tools and resources to move those dreams to reality. Joining us today to provide some of that information and help break down the business questions that are common to entrepreneurs today is Mr. Brad Bunt, Director of the Kilgore College Small Business Development Center. Thank you, Brad, for joining us today. It's a pleasure having you.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely. Well, to get started, before we get into the nuts and bolts of how to start a small business, can you give us a little bit of background about the Small Business Development Center at Kilgore College? What specifically you do for individuals who come in seeking knowledge?
Sure. Actually, we're three phases. Okay. The first phase is counseling. And that's our biggest phase of what we do, and we offer one-on-one counseling, and it's free of charge. And as long as someone is a client of the SBDC, which is free of charge, we can spend the proper amount of time with them to work with them to develop a business plan or financing or discuss with them marketing or whatever their questions are. And the second phase is training. We do a lot of training on how to start and operate a business. QuickBooks, and online we have hundreds and hundreds of courses that individuals can take from our website. And then the third thing is information. We provide free information. We have a wealth, a database of information called the Business Information Center, and it has over $30,000 worth of resources that they can acquire and obtain for free.
Excellent. Okay, so let's find out how to do all this. If I woke up tomorrow with this amazing idea for a new business, say I want to start lawn care or a new retail or even start my own cookie company, where do I begin? What would be the first step? I mean, I can see the vision in my mind, but how do I get started?
Well, the best answer is come to the Small Business Development Center, because we can walk you through all of those steps. And some of the things that we always encourage people and help people think of is this a realistic idea? A lot of ideas are not realistic. A lot of times the market is saturated. A lot of times they won't have the proper capital, or their credit score isn't high enough for a loan, or the business just doesn't cash flow. So there's lots of things that we can make them think of and work through as we're developing a business plan to see if this is a feasible idea. And also, one of the things that we like for them to think of is, do they have the commitment of time? A lot of people want to get into business and they think this will be easy. This will be easier than their regular job, and that is never the case. So when you have a time commitment, if you have a family, you need to make sure your family is on board with this. The entire family understands this is a time commitment and that everybody might be involved in this business.
How many hours would you say it generally takes to actually start a small business that people don't realize in terms of the time?
That's a great question. When you first begin your business, you know, you can easily put in 60 to 80 hour type weeks, weekends. You are the boss. The problems are all yours now. Nobody can solve them but yourself. So a lot of this takes a lot of time, dedication, and I don't see most individuals getting to Easy Street until about 5-6 years into the process. I mean, it's going to take a lot of time, dedication, and a lot of times if your business is small, you could see that for the rest of your life.
Absolutely. And I can certainly see how that would put a strain on family relationships personally, like a marriage if both parties haven't agreed to kind of jump into this venture. Some of that strain can also come from individuals not understanding the lingo of how all putting this together. You had referenced cash flow projections and even hearing the term business model, and for some they're not familiar with that. But what is truly needed to develop a strong business plan, and what are some things that individuals can use to determine whether or not their idea truly is a financially viable business?
Well, the first thing that we work with is we try to look at business feasibility.
Okay.
We try to make sure that the market is not oversaturated. We also look at the pricing aspect of this. Is this something that would work in this economy, in this location? And then cash flow is very, very important. Most individuals don't consider cash flow.
Right.
They always believe they're going to make $1 million, but when we break it out on a month-to-month and a week-to-week cash flow, sometimes they don't make any money.
Okay.
And so if you don't make any money, especially from a banking standpoint, if you've got any debt involved, bankers and anybody that gives you financing wants repayment ability.
Absolutely.
So cash flow is very, very important, and also you need to know if you're going to make enough money to survive. Is this going to be better than the job you had before? Is this going to make less?
Absolutely.
And so cash flow is very important.
Are there resources available for someone who's had an idea? Perhaps there are already businesses in the marketplace with that. Is there a place they can go to see how many businesses may already be providing that service?
Like I said before, the Business Information Center, which is the third phase of what we do, is we have tons and tons of information. So if you're an existing business, we also work with you. And Reference USA is a resource that we have that we can search specific criteria, and it would pull up all the related businesses in the search criteria we put. So if you're in Longview, Texas, and you wanted to know how many donut shops exist, we can tell you exactly how many exist. In fact, we can tell you how many exist within the United States.
Excellent.
And
Excellent.
so we can find out if that's a feasible idea and if there's maybe a little niche that's left in the market for you.
Okay. Okay, so if I have sat down, I've determined that my business is going to be of benefit to the community, I've possibly identified a customer base for it, and even done some of the cost calculations, what would be that next step if I'm ready to move forward? And to also tell us what are some of the tax and legal implications that many individuals may not be aware of going into this?
I think that's one of the best things that we do. We've kind of created a logical step-by-step process in order to get into business, because a lot of people just jump into business and they haven't considered their legal formation or how that would affect them with taxes. So we walk them through all the different forms of business, be it a sole proprietorship, partnership, LLC, or corporation. And in corporation you have an S-corporation or C-corporation. All of this plays a role in the legal liability of your company and yourself and your family and protection, and also with taxation later on.
Okay, so what would be a reason why I would choose one legal status over the other?
One of the main reasons is the legal liability.
Okay.
With a sole proprietorship, you are your business, so any legal liability that comes upon you or your business, it affects you and your business. If you form an LLC or a corporation, you're separating yourself from the business. So if the business is sued, you personally aren't sued. And a lot of people need that type of protection. This is a sue-happy world, and a lot of lawsuits could occur, and you want to make sure that you have that protection.
So you're saying with a sole proprietorship, if something were to go amiss with my business, with a customer, it would come back on me and not the business itself? Absolutely.
A lot of people don't understand sole proprietorship. You are your business. You're one and the same. So if you are sued, your business is affected. If your business is sued, Same thing. You're all affected as one. If you form another legal form, you give some separation from yourself and your family.
You had talked about incorporation. What would be the difference between choosing S or C for a business?
That all has to do with taxation.
Okay.
With the S corporation, the taxes flow down to you personally or the loss. Okay. And so everybody fills out a 1040 at the end of the year. So if you have a $15,000 loss once you began your business, then that could possibly help your tax burden personally. If you're a C corporation, you're taxed separately. It's taxed as a corporation, and it doesn't flow down to you personally.
Okay, excellent. And I know that, Brad, there are a lot of businesses out there, particularly in our region, who could benefit from the services that your professionals at the Small Business Development Center are providing. Can you help us? I know you have classes such as the business formation and the basic accounting, and you mentioned the QuickBooks training. If someone wanted to learn a little bit more about this, about what you do and how you can help, where can they find you?
Absolutely. They could call our office at 903-757-5857 or go to kilgoresbdc.com. And we have all this information, and we service a 6-county area. And so anybody in Gregg, Harrison, Upshur, Panola, Rusk, or Marion County can call our offices and receive these services free of charge.
Excellent. Well, thank you again for taking the time to share with our viewers today. And if you would like to learn more about the classes and services offered by the Kilgore College Small Business Development Center, please contact them at the website or the phone number that you see listed on your screen. Now, that's all the time that we have for today's segment of Between the T's. Once again, I'd like to thank our special guest, Mr. Brad Bunt, Director of the Kilgore College Small Business Development Center. Please be sure to tune in next time as we dive into another important topic designed to help you take control of your financial world. Until then, always remember that knowledge is power when it's shared between the T's. I'm Karen Partee. Thanks for watching.